After going through an uncertain waiting to immediately try out the Mi Mix 2, which never circulated officially in the country, we finally had to break down patience in order to treat the curiosity of the successor of Mi Mix, which was one of the pioneers of this bezelless design. We were forced to hunt for the black market version, in order to get acquainted with the Mi Mix 2. That beauty has been widely recognized since the first generation through a number of design awards, including the German Red Dot Award, the IF Design Award, the International Design Excellence Award, ID. The New York Design Awards, the Outstanding Industrial Design USA Awards, Industrial Designers Society of America, the Good Design Award 2017, and others. The public certainly has high expectations for the design of Mi Mix 2, after its predecessor generation was able to win many awards for its design. Xiaomi answered this by making this phone a little more concise than the first Mi Mix. The Mi Mix dimension is quite often highlighted because it feels a little too big to hold. The public certainly has high expectations for the design of Mi Mix 2, after its predecessor generation was able to win many awards for its design. Xiaomi answered this by making this phone a little more concise than the first Mi Mix. The Mi Mix dimension is quite often highlighted because it feels a little too big to hold. Mi Mix 2 appears shrinkage 6 and 7 mm in length and body width when compared to its predecessor. Although on paper the difference is as small as possible, the shrinkage is able to make the Mi Mix 2 size feel normal, and not too big like the original Mi Mix. You certainly already know that Mi Mix 2 has been released in a special edition version. Unfortunately, the Mi Mix 2 that we have is the regular version. In terms of the material used, the regular version has an aluminum bezel, unlike the special edition version, whose bezel is an extension of the ray. Our backplate made from ceramic. Touching on the backplate, Mi Mix 2 also uses ceramic with rounded edges, which makes it look luxurious and most importantly feels ergonomic for the hand grip. On the back side there is also a prominent camera lens with ring-shaped accents coated in 18-karat gold. It's hard to prove, but at least that's what Xiaomi said. Switch to the front side. The screen clearly dominates this section. Another change on the front side is the use of an earpiece that miraculously does not interfere with the concept of bezelless. For information, the first generation Mi Mix uses piezoelectric ceramic technology that vibrates all parts of the cell phone as a sound source for earpiece replacement. Meanwhile, the lower part of the screen or chin appears to be a smaller bezel margin than its predecessor. Though Xiaomi is still placing the front camera in this area. Reportedly, because the front camera module used is only 50% of the size of the front camera module in general. If previously Mi Mix used a 17:9 screen ratio that was classified as foreign. Now Mi Mix 2 uses a screen ratio that is generally used by other bezelless mobile phones, namely 18:9. In addition, the Mi Mix 2 screen is smaller than the Mi Mix 2, which is 6.4 inches compared to 5.99 inches. Mi Mix 2 is one example that proves that a bigger screen isn't always better. Because with the current screen size, we find it easier to reach every area on the screen. With a pixel density reaching 400 pixels per inch ppi, the Mi Mix 2 screen is able to present detailed images. Although the flagship class, some competitors have a pixel density of 500 pixels per inch. But believe me, for the average cell phone screen size, you don't need that high pixel density level, and most users won't notice the difference between 400 pixels per inch and 500 pixels per inch. The contrast and color production also look good. No less important, the brightness level can accommodate the use in direct sunlight. The unit that we tested was running MIUI version 9.1 on the Android platform version 7.1. But actually there aren't many changes from the previous version, especially in terms of menu display. Still offering simplicity by eliminating the app drawer and presenting all applications directly on the home screen panel. We did not find a bloatware that was installed by default. All pre-installed applications have functions that most users will generally need. The Mi Mix 2 camera uses the Sony IMX386 sensor, the same as that embedded in their flagship Mi 6 product and a number of their upper-middle class products, such as the Mi Max 2 and Mi Note 3. Mi Mix camera interface displays 7 main modes, namely short video, photo, auto, beauty, square, panorama and manual. To move between these modes, the user just moves right or left in the viewfinder, in portrait position. In addition, in the photo and square modes there is a choice of HDR features, filter, tilt shift, HHT, handheld twilight or some sort of low light mode, straighten and some others. Switching to video mode, users can choose between normal mode, time lapse and slow motion. Even though it was not good enough to compete with the camera sector of other products in the flagship class in a head-to-head fashion, the Mi Mix shot was far from a bad impression. With the help of good natural lighting, for example when shooting during the day, the Mi Mix 2 main camera shots a ray able to reproduce natural colors with good detail, while if used in makeshift lighting conditions or even minimal, the noise seems to be smoothed. In these conditions, we recommend that you do not hesitate to use flash because Mi Mix 2's dual-tone flash is able to provide lighting assistance to make the image look brighter and sharper without giving rise to images that look hard. In the video sector, Mi Mix 2's recordings look okay. Besides being able to record the highest resolution that can be found on a smartphone that is 4K, the optical image stabilizer also seems to work well, especially when recording videos while walking. This feature is able to minimize video shocks when the user steps. Although the hobby of selfie may not be so popular among premium or flagship users, it doesn't feel perfect if we miss the discussion about the front camera. As mentioned earlier, the front camera module used by Mi Mix 2 is only 50% of the size of the front camera module that is commonly used on smartphones. On the one hand, it allows this cell phone to have a smaller chin size to accommodate its bezelless design. But on the other hand, this seems to be one of the reasons why the Mi Mix 2 front camera is so ordinary. Not just a resolution that appears below the standard for the flagship class, the results of the shots cannot be said to be special even though they are not included in the bad category. But of course you hope there are advantages in every sector when buying a flagship cell phone, isn't it? What is also interesting to be informed is how to use when shooting with the front camera. Because the location of the lens is below the screen, you will immediately be advised to turn the cell phone back to position the lens to the top of the screen when you first use the front camera. No problem indeed, because the photos will rotate 180 degrees automatically. Mi Mix 2 uses the best Qualcomm's current processor, Snapdragon 835. The performance is certainly outstanding and in accordance with its class in the ranks of flagship products. After going through an uncertain waiting to immediately try out the Mi Mix 2 which never circulated officially in the country, we finally had to